Oh, welcome to Vanderbelly.com. This is in response to a request for a lesson on Time Was by Wishbone Ash. It's from their Argus album from 1972. That's an absolutely classic album, full of great stuff. Wishbone Ash at that time had twin guitars, Andy Powell and Ted Turner, and they were sort of into these long jam style songs. So this song on the studio version is almost 10 minutes long. What I'm going to cover in this lesson, in part one I'm going to do the acoustic introduction. Part two I will do the electric section, verse and chorus, and then in part three I'll do the bridges and outros. So a lot of ground to cover there. For this part I'm in standard tuning with capo, as you can see, on the 7th fret. So let's get started. Okay, as I mentioned, we're capoed up on the 7th fret here. I'm going to refer to this as if it's the nut. So, just ignore. I'm going to say this is a C chord. It's obviously not a C chord because we're up on the 7th fret, but bear with me here. And I will refer to each of the frets as if, this is the 3rd fret, even though it's the 10th fret, etc. The first chord is a C chord with a C chord shape with the pinky on the E string, 3rd fret. So that sounds like this. And the pattern is start on the A string, and it's A, D, G, skip the B and go to the E, and then down B, G, D. So skip and then repeat. Then the next chord, you just shift it's a form of a G chord. You're going to take these fingers off. You're going to shift your ring finger to the E string 3rd fret, and you're going to put your pinky, you're going to move it from the E string to the B string 3rd fret, and you get this chord. You don't play the A, you mute that, so you get. And the picking pattern is the same. It's you're going to start with the root, and then go D, G, skip the B, and then run down E, B, G, D. And again, you repeat that twice. Next chord is what would be, what would be if it were open, a C major 7 chord. You're just going to put your middle finger on the A string 3rd fret and your first finger on the D string 2nd fret, and you play, it should sound like, and you're going to play A, D, G, guess what, skip the B, and E, and then back down. Twice, and then you play a D sus2, which is just a D chord without your middle finger on the first on the E string. So that sounds like, and there, because you're running out of space, your root is the D, and so you have nothing to skip. So you're essentially going up, but then hit that D twice. So. And then you go into the riff that runs through the song, in which you're going to take this D sus2 form, and you're going to take your pinky, put it up on, the equivalent of the 5th fret here, and you're going to run up, starting with the D string. You hit it twice, and then you just go up and back. So it's. Okay. Then you move down to what would be a D sus4 if it was open. You put your pinky on the 3rd fret and you play the same pattern. And then take your pinky off, play a full D. And then you play the B string, hammer on to the E string 2nd fret. So, and then you're going to come up down. And then you start that again. And you go back to the C chord that with the E 3rd fret. Same pattern. And then back to. I neglected to mention, when you get to the end of that pattern, you're going to play that last D chord again. Before you go to the C, because he's actually singing over that part. So he's saying, got to rearrange my life. And so you need a chord in there to do that. And he plays that same exact pattern through the whole song until he gets to a part where he says, "I miss you." And when he does that, he's just returning to the very beginning where you played. Yeah, and you play through the whole cycle again. And when you get to the end, you're here. You're playing this pattern. And then after you've played it once, instead of going to it the second time, you just play a D sus2, which is the open E string here. So it's. And then play, put your pinky on the 5th fret and play. And you just alternate between those two to fade out for the end of the acoustic section. And that's pretty much how it goes.